On Friday night, March 27th, the season got underway with the lights of the MCG casting the spotlight on the debut of the Brisbane Bears against North Melbourne. The Bears were tipped to win very few games in their first season, but surprised everyone south of the Queensland border when they convincingly defeated North Melbourne by a healthy 33-point margin. On the Saturday, the Sydney Swans carried the flag for the interstate teams when Warwick Kappa kicked 9 goals to help demolish Collingwood. At Princes Park, the 1986 grand finalists met in a return bout, with Carlton seeking revenge for their grand final humiliation. Hawthorn showed that their premiership form had not deserted them with their 7-goal victory.
And the two Blondes are having it off behind the play. Platten, he of the curly locks, towards centre-half forward. His target, Dunstall! What a great mark! Over the back of the pack, Carlton need runners. Silvani is one of them. Paddles nicely to Evans. Shot for goal by Evans. Road to the point of the square. Kernahan in front, holds the mark.
The way he covers that ground, very deceptive. Kick almost right. Platten came there and he's collided there with...
Some of the lighter moments of season 87 now, as Eagles captain Ross Glendinning found there were some days when the guys just didn't feel like playing. Up fellas, not down. It's amazing how 4 posts can get in the way on such a big ground. Even the umpires find the going gets tough when the Hawks and the Bombers do battle. Now, these guys do a lot of running, but this one, absolutely flat out. And just when you thought it was safe to go back on the ground, those darn posts get in the way again. Warwick Kappa doesn't even get a point for hitting this one. Aim for the goals, Warwick. And even if you don't get near the scoring zone too often, you can still run foul of the fence. Fitzroy skipper Matt Rendell goes right over the top at the SCG.
You can actually fall awkwardly. On replay, we see Matt Rendell coming over now. He does fall awkwardly.
But whether it's going over it or into it,
He's had just one kick for his window.
or perhaps even trying to go through it, the fence does protect the players from the fans. Some players like John Annear do the latest dance craze. Others like Brett Bailey just do their block.
Bailey not too happy. Out goes the mouth guard. A few expressions.
The high-flying action of Australian rules comes down to earth with a splash in the rain, and the Bears and the Bombers went slip-sliding away. Mike Richardson loses his dignity, if not his momentum. And now, Glenn Hawker, here's mud in your eye. Players all expect to have a bad day occasionally. Steve O'Dwyer had all his bad ones at once. This is Carlton giant Justin Madden, less than sartorially elegant, but either he's been watching reruns of The Incredible Hulk, or he's a Rambo fan.
Kicks back to Bairstow. Has he grabbed it inside the line? Over he goes, 15 metres. Outmaneuvered by Hulk. Good play, Hulk. Hart fire.
Round 4 was played during Easter, and on Saturday, North Melbourne defeated Geelong by 7 points. Melbourne had a 47-point win over St Kilda, and the Eagles suffered an 87-point loss to Carlton at Princes Park, with Wayne Johnson kicking 7 goals for the Blues, while skipper Steve Kernahan contributed 6.
Caught by Main Waring. The kick off the ground from Johnston's good football. Another one from Gleeson. Front position. O'Connell, but look at all the Blues. Johnston's third. You bet.
Gets past Wiley, onto the left foot, in short to Johnston. Can't mark, it's over the top. Turner there, backed up. Johnston dispossesses, now he goes after it again. Gets up off the ground, now he hand passes to Dennis. Dennis to Meldrum, gets through another tackle. How does he do it? Into an open goal, and bang goes another one. Sensational football by Carlton.
At Windy Hill, the Bombers gave the Sydney Swans their first taste of failure for the season with a convincing 47-point margin.
Puts the ball up into the air, into the kick-off lines. Ironmonger in front, hand to the ball. Goal! Clark!
Joint Brownlow medalist Greg Williams was reported for attempting to strike Leon Baker, but was given the benefit of the doubt by the tribunal and was cleared to play.
Ian Roberts over to Browning. Browning, the low stab kick. A beautiful kick to Williams. Greg Williams lines up the open goal. He stabs at goal. And what's he done with this one? He has put it through for a lovely goal. It was too long, though, for Wallace. Taken by David Murphy.
In round 5, the Sydney Swans had little difficulty in overcoming Richmond by 20 points in a performance that staggered David Murphy and frustrated Tony Jewell.
He doesn't look a very happy man at all.
Hawthorn would have suffered their second loss in as many matches when overpowered by the West Coast Eagles at Princes Park. A 12-point loss to the Hawks, a confidence builder for the Eagles.
Curry here, head first into defence, and John O'Neill is hurt. He went head first into that cyclone wiring. Kicks hard, long and high into the kick-off lines. Million players flying high for it. Ball on the ground. Shot by Gold's gone through. It's Holmes. And the Eagles have got a goal and they're going to win this game.
Swans were in top spot on the ladder when they met Hawthorn in round 7, and the home side was not short on confidence after beating Carlton. But there's no such thing as an easy game against the Hawks.
Intercepted by Williams, who gives it to Browning. It's a glorious kick from Browning. That's a great goal. Against Eden, Murphy flies. He might kick this. 55 metres, David Murphy. A brilliant kick. It's a goal. What a goal to David Murphy. Up towards Langford, who takes a... Kicked off the ground almost by Mew. Likewise, Cordy. It comes to Hawke. Hawke tackled, loses possession, and is penalised accordingly. Bit tough.
And it's on.
Oh. Loveridge taps it wide. Good play, Loveridge. Curran puts the hand pass back to Loveridge. Out wide to Brereton. Hawthorn steady as Brereton goes to goal. And it's 1 point the lead in favour of the Hawks. Kappa! Yes! Harding puts it wide. Simons tackle, loses it. Platten puts it off the ground. The hand pass to Kennedy. Knocked out of his hands by Healy. Back to Williams. The ball back in the Swans forward area. Eade, a great mark. Ball played by the umpire. Mitchell picks it up. Floats the ball forward. And there's the match winner now. 8 points the margin.
Round 8 was a big one for the VFL Tribunal, with Fitzroy's Matt Rendell, Swans' Ian Bolton, Brownlow medal winner Robert DiPierdomenico, Demons' Wilson and O'Dwyer, Bulldog Williams and North's Jim Cracker all being reported. Fitzroy continued their dominance of the Swans, bringing the Sydney side down to earth by 29 points and costing them top spot on the ladder.
Gerard Healy, a high floater. Grant Laurie and Kappa. Kappa! Oh, one of the marks of the year. Warwick Kappa up early, hung in the air and took a screamer.
The Saints celebrated a 48-point win over the West Coast Eagles.
Tremendous courage, held his ground, a gutsy effort by Grant. We'll like these conditions over there to Coghlan. Further afield, this is Rod Owen, I should say. Rod Owen onto the left foot, he fires a goal. What a great goal that was. Yeah, happy room. Foot snapshot.
Round 11, and Hawk forward Dermot Brereton was in fine form for the Hawks' win over North Melbourne.
What a mark by Dermot Brereton. Kick towards centre half forward, and Brereton takes the mark. Brereton takes the mark. Beautiful football by Platt. Oh, what a mark. Dermot Brereton high up over Johnny Law, hung in the air.
The West Coast Eagles were welcome to Geelong in round 12, but they knew they were in a football match soon after.
Taps it out. Morgan having trouble getting it. Glendinning with some good play here. A gentle handball to Barish. A kick that Lockyer lost his footing, and the mark's been plucked there by Darcy. Ooh, and a couple of little biffs and clouts from both players. Darts between a couple, recovers his balance, up in the air. Linder a chance again. You beauty, Bruce.
Robert Flower got on top of Dennis Carroll. Hawthorn defeated the Bears by 95 points in a game that would be best forgotten by Russell Morris and by Jim Edmund, suspended as a result.
Copped that one right on the chin. And the think Jimmy Edmund might be reported out of this.
I think he's out to it.
I just hope that Russell Morris is okay. Back to Brereton it goes.
Jason Dunstall kicked 11 goals in a triumphant return to Queensland.
And there he got rid of Mark Roberts. Gibson now is there, but Dunstall first on the scene, kicks it off the ground and brings up his 6th goal.
Reynoldsson, because he is very, very quick. It's true, Bob, let's face it. Oh, silly play by Reynoldsson. That should have been taken off Stephen Reynoldsson there as he gave him a low one. It comes to Steve Reynoldsson. Oh, he's got him from behind Dermot, and see, he's not happy. Now, that is the umpire's fault. I don't care what you say. Let's face it. Oh, silly play by Reynoldsson. That should have been taken off Stephen Reynoldsson there as he gave him a low one. It comes to Steve Reynoldsson. Oh, he's got him from behind.
Carlton's David Rhys-Jones is never far from the spotlight, but it was difficult to foresee the uproar that would result from him being reported against the Eagles. The tribunal in Perth elected to fine Rhys-Jones $5,000 instead of incurring a suspension, an action not likely to be repeated as it upset everyone but the Carlton supporters.
And 2 more Eagles are down. Fitzroy found the conditions in Perth such that the sport could have been mud wrestling against the West Coast Eagles.
Two Richard each other out there, Dennis.
No, it's that sort of game, isn't it? Laidley's in it again.
Footscray swamped Geelong by 39 points, and the frustrations with the conditions brought Doug Hawkins and Simon Beasley before the tribunal. Brisbane slipped further down the ladder after their game against the Bombers at wet and windy Windy Hill. And the side from the Sunshine State looked well and truly out of their depth.
Carroll has been absolutely magnificent. Have a look at that for football.
Collingwood were no match for the Swans when they met at the SCG in round 14.
Good play, Kappa. A hand pass to Cordy, and Graham Cordy into the open goal, and the Swans are back in business.
Few have been better than this one. It saw the Hawks win by a solitary point.
He can't mark. It's at the back. Chance for Brereton all round the net against Alban. A definite free kick there to Dermot Brereton.
Brereton goes for his 2nd goal. It hasn't made it. And marked right on the line by Madden.
Kicks it high towards half forward. High flyer is Ogier.
Centre half forward, Murphy.
Bounce in the centre. Madden gets the tap away. He's done well in the ruck. Here's Bradley streaming through the centre. Well tackled by Tuck. Dropping the ball. Play on. Here's a chance for Carlton. Kernahan shoots for goal and puts it through.
St Kilda's 34-point win over Fitzroy was typical of their improvement in 1987. The effort was marred a little by Rod Owen being reported.
I don't have to say too much about that. Owen reported.
Winmar. Lowe's by himself. Lockett can give it back to Lowe. He did. Lovely stake. Oh, a class piece of footy.
Healy over the top to Williams.
Sydney proved that big grounds weren't really a problem when they defied the experts by beating the Bulldogs by 33 points at VFL Park.
With a long one. And Kappa can't mark. He'll play on and kick a goal. Or just. No, it's touched. Oh. Sensational play by the Footscray defender. I didn't quite pick up Maloney, was it?
I think it might have been McGuinness. Moving into open space, Malaxis. He's got
Rounds 16 and 17 were played over 3 weekends, and the highlights came thick and fast. In the opening matches of the round, all interest centred on the Eagles and Carlton, and the match was a classic with the Eagles winning by 3 points. And Kernahan, Rhys-Jones, Shine and Robertson were reported for the Blues, and Phil Narkle went into the umpire's notebook for the Eagles.
Puts the ball off the side of the boot, goes after it again himself, and tackles too high that time against Ashenko. And Ashenko, well.
Spiral punt down towards the full forward area. Big pack into the air, almost the mark to Dunstall. Off hands, Platten, great goal.
Lockyer with the hand pass, with a tap. Hart, that's a beautiful goal. Lovely goal, David Hart for his 3rd.
That is a magnificent snap. He's kicked 2 of the best goals you'd see this afternoon, David Hart.
The West Coast Eagles underscored their ability at home to take the points against Hawthorn by the narrowest of margins.
Punch the ball away, but it's picked up by Green. Dribble towards goal. Full points. McIntyre puts it straight to the arms of Keane. A beautiful kick. It's a long one. No mark. It comes back. It's a goal.
Well, that is fitting.
I
here's Jeff Rains after marking. This will test his accuracy, if not distance, and that's got both qualities right through the middle from 55 metres. And now Walsh for the Bears. 28 points as the Bears lead. Walsh has kicked the centre-half forward. Edmund, good reading of the good pick-up, shrugs off the tackle. Off to Judge. Standing start, 35 metres, and he's further buried them. Comes in short, comes to the front. Hardy's there, gets away from Lee. Just to Micken. Down he goes from Palm. Notting for the Tigers. Oh, Lee has decked Carlson. I think the book's coming out for Mark Lee, and it's on.
Judge is out wide to Walsh. Walsh tries it short across towards Banfield. Jim Edmund takes the run of the ball out to Carlson. Carlson very quickly sends it back towards the goal square. It's through. And the Brisbane Bears have answered the best way.
There is always going to be confrontation in body contact sports, and this year was no exception. We started the season with 2 Brownlow medalists, and by season's end, both had been reported and rubbed out. Greg Williams was reported 3 times and rubbed out twice. David Rhys-Jones made visits to tribunals in 2 states. Melbourne's Dean Sharon and the Eagles' Laurie Keane both were reported 2 weeks running. There was that fine, and Jimmy Edmund copped the biggest suspension of the year, and the tribunal was so busy at one stage that they met on 3 nights to cope with the load. There were some reports that were best described as frivolous, and there was even an instance where one player brought charges against another for the first time in the game's history. After 22 rounds of football, the season was over for 9 clubs and thousands of supporters. But with the sensational conclusion to the home and away matches, few would argue that season 87 had not been a success. It was now left to 5 teams to complete the history of this adventurous and controversial year. The series opened with the qualifying final at VFL Park between the Swans and Hawthorn, and Sydney were humiliated to the tune of 99 points.
Now, Kappa, a big chance here on Langford. Oh, dear, oh, what a mark! Oh!
Karen elects to go long towards half-forward. Brereton, a beautiful mark!
Magnificent little chip pass out wide, allows Dippy Domenico to run after it. Oh, clever skills by Dippy. He runs to 50 metres, he fires, Dunstall, marks!
Now gives the hand pass out wide where Buckenaro accepts it. Goes forward looking for Dunstall. And a great mark taken there by Dunstall. Carroll's at full back as Brereton hand passes back towards Buckenaro. Hooked over the shoulder. A beautiful goal, Buckenaro.
Morris loses it to Bays. And there's the siren. A brilliant victory this at VFL Park.
The second semi-final brought together the heavyweights of the VFL, Carlton and Hawthorn, to decide which team would go straight to the grand final. Hawthorn started well, leading by 12 points at the end of the first quarter and increasing the margin to 15 points by half-time. But Carlton were not out of the fight. They outscored the Hawks in the third term to turn the deficit into a 9-point margin going into the final term. And at the end of the day, it was the Blues by 15 points, and yet another grand final appearance was assured.
Good play, still got it tuck. Out to Platten. Platten brilliantly hooks it back. Oh, marked by Silvani right in the line.
And that leaves Hunter at centre-half forward.
Well, here's Nailey. Oh, brilliantly done by Mark Nailey. Gets onto the left foot. Oh, terrific smother by Ayres. But Nailey kicks it to Gleeson. They're betting on them getting a goal here after all that attacking by Carlton. Oh, that's 15 metres against Rhys-Jones.
That is stupid.
Attacked by Paul Deere. Oh, Cheeky slipped in. Now a chance for Evans. Oh, great play. Greg Deere, tremendous play towards the pocket. Dunstall in front, tremendous use of the body. Is a chance for Kennedy, a hand pass to Brereton. Now, is that a goal? I think it is. Platten.
Satori couldn't take it. Hunter comes through a beautiful blind turn. A nice hand pass to Evans, who goes goalwards. Evans' kick bounces in the square, runs the right way. It's a great goal. And give away a goal to the opposition.
Oh, that's I wouldn't have done
Wayne Johnson snaps towards goal. It's hooking back, and the goal umpire indicates it's an excellent goal.
To Bernie Evans. Evans to Kernahan, he leads out in front of Langford. They've played pretty well in this quarter, the Blues. There's the kick by Steve Kernahan, a beautiful goal. Fantastic finals player, Gary Ayres. There's Nailey, who's been a great player. He's goaled, has he? Yes, it's a goal to the Blues.
Not far enough for a mark, so the players just punch the ball on. The short kick comes out. Buckenaro takes it. There's the siren. Carlton running out by 15 points.
The first semi-final was played at the MCG on Sunday, with Melbourne hopeful of continuing their dream run and the Swans desperately needing to salvage some prize. The Swans started well enough for their fans to think they had turned the corner. A 5-point lead to Sydney at quarter time, but it was to be a fleeting glimpse of the form that the side had displayed during the season. The Demons swarmed over the top of the Swans in the second term with good old-fashioned guts and determination to see the lead change to a 31-point margin in Melbourne's favour at the long break. It only got worse for the Swans, 10 goals down at half-time and another humiliation at the final siren. The Demons into the preliminary final after trouncing the Sydney side by 76 points. VFL Park at Waverley was the venue for the preliminary final when the Cinderella side of 87, Melbourne, would dare to challenge the reigning champions Hawthorn for the right to play Carlton for the flag. Hawthorn were obvious favourites to win, but the hearts of thousands of Australians were with the young Demon Tyros as they dared to achieve the impossible. The preliminary final is destined to be a game that will long be remembered by Demon fans. In the final minutes, both sides would have the chance to seal the game, and the pressure on the players was immense. Someone would have to be bitterly disappointed in a game in which the winner would hit the front for the first time after the final siren had sounded.
Dean takes it, breaks the tackle. Warren Dean goes short across the ground. Wilson couldn't take it. Yates has got the man there. Beautifully smothered by Tuck. In comes Michael Tuck's there, trying to tap the ball out. Does so, and we find Langford. So too White, both players showing the tremendous courage. Round, Newport takes it, puts it towards centre wing. Warren Dean gets it, does it, loses possession. Coming through was Russo, he too loses it. Viney's tackled, which way will it go? Bounce of the ball, says the umpire. Abbott was up, tapped on again. Yes is in there, Melbourne tapped the ball out. Russo with a hand pass out wide. It's a free kick off Melbourne. Call play on by the umpire. How he missed that, I do not know. Punched away. Spalding couldn't take it. Picked up in the centre by Stretch. Stretch forces the ball forward. It's picked up by Warren Dean. He's got a loose man out there in Yates. So too Healy. Healy shepherded by Yates. A good piece of play. And Greg Healy from 50 metres out. Down towards the square. Can it be taken from Melbourne? Yes! Look at the pressure on young Simon Eishold. The boy from Ormond. 20 years of age. Simon Eishold. Oh, it's 1 point. He's hooked it.
Russell Green, he's got it. Morris, handball, Platten. In he goes, the ball comes loose. Paul Deere, handball, goal. Buckenara, and the Hawks are in it.
Buckenara's fourth goal, and the margin between the sides, 3 points. Only one kick in this game. Whoever gets it out of the centre, what a piece of football it'll be. 27 and a half minutes have gone on replay. Over the top it comes from Paul Deere to Buckenara, and it's a 3-point margin between the sides.
The time clock is nearly at the 28-minute mark. There only would be about a minute to go, I would think. The difference, 3 points.
28 and a half minutes have gone. Alan James has a close look at the situation. The long kick taken by Swab, plays on. Langford comes out with the ball, drives it down. Buckenara trip. Buckenara's free kick. Siren sounds. There's the siren, and he's got a kick from 55 metres out. I don't think they...
It's 15 metres! 15! What pressure on Gary Buckenara. He is a champion. He is a great kick. If he kicks this goal, Hawthorn are in the grand final.
The umpires haven't heard it yet, I don't think.
If he kicks this goal, Hawthorn are in the 1987 grand final. If he misses, Melbourne are in. There's the kick. It's a goal. It's a goal. Hawthorn have won with a kick after the siren. What a performance. A magnificent performance this by Hawthorn. Poor old Melbourne. You've got to, the hearts go out to the Melbourne Football Club. Stephen Stretch can't believe it, but there's the character. That was a courageous win, that by Hawthorn. They were down and out, Bob.
And so it is that the VFL Grand Final of 1987 will be the classic confrontation of the heavyweights Hawthorn and Carlton, two sides that richly deserve the honour of drawing the final curtain on this historic season of change.
Can play in many, many positions and is a top kick for goal normally, Wayne Johnson. There's the drop punt, it floats, and it's a goal.
Awkward bounce. Di Domenico crashes his way through, and again. Down he goes. Forearm from Johnston, and Dipper's laid out.
Should be reported.
Oh.
Schwab caught, just gets in the hand pass, grabbed by Johnston. Johnston from 40 metres fires a goal. Brilliant play by the centreman.
Now it's Curran.
Well, as you can see on the screen, there's a really on-behind play. That was Ian Aiken, the young fella, number 22. So there's going to be some very tired players. Play on, said the umpire, as it's young Collins again. Good play by the young fella. Off he comes. That's 85 degrees Fahrenheit, in fact. And a lovely mark to Buckenara.
Glascott looks as though he's got Platten, and virtually both sides without one wingman, but this wingman is playing a ripper.
He emerges with the ball. Beautiful kick into the path of Hunter. Couldn't quite get there. It beat him by half a stride. Down he goes. Dorotich is there. Abbott came out and upended Hunter. Scrambled forward around the outer side by Russo. Grabbed by Green. High kick down towards full forward. Behind it's knocked away by Aitken. In goes Tuck. Tuck's over the ball. Clever hand pass. In the square. Kennedy goal.
Now Bradley. And young Pritchard. Bradley knocks it on. Great pace, Bradley. He straightens up. He fires. It comes back. The Hawthorn defenders try and get away with it. Beautiful play, Dorotich. Oh, gee, the bounce to Meldrum. This is a goal. Yes!
Hawthorn have got the numbers. Over the ball is Tuck. He's got some time. 55 metres out from goal. Long kick. Silvani is down there. Reece Jones has had a wonderful match. He got back in the nick of time and knocked the ball against the post. Yes, here's Rick Deere then. Long left foot kick. That's a bomb. He's put it through.
We apologise.
Hand pass comes out then from Pritchard. Back comes Robertson. Robertson scrambles a kick to Bradley. Bradley feigns the hand pass, stabs goalward, puts it through.
Here they come again, the Blues. This time through Robertson towards half forward. It's a good mark taken by Nayley.
That was a ripper.
It was a great mark on Peter Russo. The big fist is away. Here's a goal coming up to the Blues. Into the open goal goes Gleeson, and it's a goal.
Meldrum is down there. Knocked away, but again, no ground support. Nayley just runs away from three Hawthorn players. He's going goalward, Mark Nayley. He's put it through.
Half forward. Here they come again, the Blues. Kernahan now gets into the action. He kicks a goal. Is it another one? Yes, goal.
Turns around, kicks it across his body. Socket out of midair by Deere. Is that a mark? I think it'll be paid. Yes, it will be to Carlton. Strong mark taken as the ball came out on the rebound.
Kernahan's opponent, and that is Chris Langford. Who knows what the score would be?
Official attendance 92,754 as Pritchard shoots a goal, and the young fella has kicked it.
Clever across towards Dennis. What a dream for him. Superb stuff on the cricket pitch area. Goes down towards the pocket. Awkward bounce. They've got the numbers down there. And now a chance for Fraser Murphy. Breaks away, goes goalward, and gets it.
Well, we're really showing the difference between last year and this year. Carlton, a far better side.
Up towards centre wing. Goes over the top to Kennedy. Kennedy down towards half forward, back to Collins. Collins with dash inside 50. Can he kick a goal, the young fella? No, he's missed, I fancy. Or has he? No, he's got it. He snuck it in.
And at the end of this historic year of VFL football, when the game has undergone enormous change, we see Carlton being written into the record books as VFL premiers of 1987.